The Society Against Sexual Orientation and Discrimination says it is paying keen attention to the government's posture on revelations that 2 female soldiers were dismissed from the Guyana Defense Force because it was suspected that they were in a same-sex relationship. The Guyana Defense Force has a strict no-gaze in the military policy that many observers see as very homophobic. Cabinet Secretary Dr. Roger Luncheon was just last week asked to comment on the issue since he also serves as the Secretary to the Defense Board. Dr. Luncheon's view is that the issue in the Guyana Defense Force should be seen as one that could support the argument for decriminalization of sex acts between same sexes.
I think this most recent event with the 2 young ladies, the 2 female soldiers, ought to ensure the gay community is not without a certain amount of resources, both domestic and international, to put over their viewpoint. And I'm certain that the opportunity that this event provides would more than allow them, the community, to introduce aspects of the military, its position on gay soldiers, and a national position on homosexuality.
But opposition leader David Granger, who years ago served as a commander in the Guyana Defense Force, believes the policy ought to change. Speaking to Capital News on the issue, Granger said from all reports, the 2 fired women soldiers were never given a fair hearing, and their dismissal ought to be questioned.
As a political party, we are against discrimination on any grounds, racial, religious, class, sexual preference. We do not discriminate as far as the Partnership for National Unity is concerned. I don't know what specific regulations exist in the Guyana Defense Force, but I would feel that the national law is superior to any internal regulations inside the Defense Force. I was surprised at the dismissals.
Granger, who is also a retired brigadier, said the Guyana Defense Force must remain a professional force at all times.
I've been told that the persons were not on military premises and the persons were not at that time, performing a military duty which could have been impaired or jeopardized by the acts that they committed. So I am a little astonished about it. So I would like to know more. But as far as I'm concerned, no organization should have internal rules and regulations which contradict the fundamental rights of citizens. And I believe their rights might have been impaired in this case.
The GDF has been relatively silent on the issue since this newscast broke the story. The Chief of Staff, Commodore Gary Best, had told this newscast initially that the Army has a don't ask, don't tell policy. That does not appear to be so when one goes through the GDF's personnel policy, which has an entire section examining the issue of homosexuality and encouraging ranks to report to their superiors if they find out or suspect anyone serving in the military to be trending the same-sex way. A number of groups have been critical of the GDF's decision to fire the women.